I'm joined by Rajiv, Pratap, Rudy from the BJP, and I'm joined by Professor Gourav Vallabh from the Congress to take this discussion forward. Let me start with you first, sir, Mr. Rudy. What is the benefits that you're likely to see from the MSME announcements today for the MSME sector per se?
Thank you, Aditi, and thank you, Gaurav. And we are here to discuss few of the issues. And I'm sure I would like to split it into two parts because the natural criticism would be what was your take-home package by this announcement. And that I would point out that if we talk about the take-home package, it was announced immediately, which was when the COVID struck the nation and was 1,70,000 crores, which was basically to create a line of cash flow to the laborers, to the villagers, to the PDS, and 3 months ration free and gas cylinders free and infusion of funds to the Jandan account and so forth and so on was the first package which was infused. So when people, and that would not have been sufficient, I admit, that can never be sufficient, but that was initially to start the line for those who would have gone into a immediate stress because of livelihood, a loss of livelihood, or maybe the day-to-day situation had changed. So that we leave that part. So if someone asks me that question, that takes it. As far as now, carrying forward the industry and nudging back the economy back to normalcy. So the Prime Minister announced this 20 lakh crores. Now, out of the 20 lakh crores, the first package has come. And this first package deals with MSMEs, redefining MSMEs, 3 lakh crores earmarked for MSMEs without collateral, and then 20,000 crores for the MSMEs which are stressed. Then we go further down. He talked about RERA, where the exemption of date has been done for another 6 months. Then discoms, which were under distress, which could have created a major crisis in the entire power sector. So they were given 90,000 crores, government securitized it, and that would create a change right up to the people who are producing energy. Then we also had the payment of EPF for 3 months. Now the government has said that we'll do it for another 3 months into their accounts, and this would benefit around 72. This is one of those direct ones which was given earlier, and this going back to the pocket of those employees or those workers. Beyond this, we have seen how the EPF rate has been reduced for the employers from 12% to 10%. And we going further, we also have seen global tender has to be and the public sector undertakings, 200 crores and less to that has to be done within the country, so forth and so on. And IT refund, 5 lakhs has to be right away and so forth and so on. Now, my submission here is, if you say, this is about 5.5 to 6 lakh crores of stimulus which has come into the system out of the 20 lakh crores. I don't think it's the final one, and this because services and industries are responsible for about 68% of the GDP. 19% goes to agriculture. So agriculture is more or less has been taken care of. There would be much more to coming, but today it was basically industry and services. I anticipate in the next stage would be tourism and travel, which is again a very different sector, and maybe many more sectors to come forth. So this recipe is the beginning of what the Prime Minister has announced, and I think we will have criticism about what has been done and what needs to be done. But I think a great initiative and a great step has been taken. But I'm sure Gaurav would have a view on this. Thank you.
Yes, Gaurav, let's come to you. Obviously, you sit in the opposition, Gaurav, so obviously you will have a point of view on it. But we'd like you to look at it from a point of view of the nation suffering under such a huge, economic problem that we are facing right now due to a pandemic. In this eventuality, the 20 lakh crore announced by the Prime Minister yesterday and the steps announced by Nirmala Sitharaman today, where do you see that? How do you see the MSME sector specifically? Because she's going to detail out over the next few days other steps taken, but how do you see it so far?
See, unfortunately, this financial package is turning out as a loan mela. This is not a right time for a loan mela. We require cash support mela. A farmer requires cash support mela. A guy who lost his employment, a daily earner requires a cash support. A person, middle income group guy who lost his job or had a salary cut of 42%, 40 to 50%, he requires a cash support. I'm just asking, I know Rajiv ji had a lot of experience. Rajiv ji, in this 6 lakh crore rupees, can you share there is a single penny of direct support to anyone? Forget about MSME or I'm saying anyone, including you, including farmer, including me, including a middle income group. Is there a direct support? Because what do you mean by support? Incremental support, the money which you are going to give in the hands of the people, because this is not a pandemic situation. This is not a normal situation. People require money in their hands, then only demand is going to be generated. And unfortunately, Aditi, in the last package, 9.8 lakh crore rupees is already announced in the first package, because they were saying 8 lakh crore is the liquidity infusion in the banks, and 1.7 lakh crore rupees they gave as a first package. 9.8 and today 6 lakh crore. Around 16 lakh crore rupees and already announced. My humble question to all your viewers, including Rajiv ji, sir, is there a single penny you are giving to a guy who lost his job? Is there a single penny you are giving to a guy who had a salary cut, sir? Is there a single penny you are giving to in the hands of a farmer? It is not a right time for loan mela or reform mela. We require money in the hand. People require direct cash support. Don't try to give them the loan. And the second point, Aditi, a small point. Then I will listen carefully Rajiv ji's perspective on this. Right now, outstanding loan to MSME sector is 10.56 lakh crore rupees, and they are already having the stress because of that loan. It's not that that loan is not having the stress. So, is MSME really require cash support in this pandemic situation, or are they require a loan mela from the government? And the last point, the point is that just few days back, government had given a moratorium period on all loans, and now they are increasing the loan. There is a contradiction in their thought process itself. Just 3 weeks back, they gave a 3 month moratorium on all outstanding loans, and now they are saying that let's have 3 lakh crore rupees, 3.7 lakh crore rupees of new infusion into the MSME system. Is this not the
Let,
self-contradictory? These
let
are
me
my
get
three perspectives.
let me get Dr. Rudy, who's also a former union minister, to sort of address the issues that you're pointing out.
No,
Dr.
can I come in, Aditi? Can
Yes,
I come
please.
in? You see, I was very polite when I said Gaurav. Uh, when you are talking about economics, you talk about economics because I, in a bit, understand economics. When you talk about politics, I can talk politics all the way down. And if you mix both of them, then a person like me can come back to you and speak much more than what you have told. And if there is a small disagreement on understanding what is a nation's economics and how an economy is nudged back to normalcy, and what are reforms, how tax cuts mean money in the pockets of the individuals who are getting those rebates, how a reduced EPF amount increases the liquidity of the companies which have employees, how a 3 month liquidity which is provided through the EPF by the banks, how all these concessions add up to liquidity in an economy, how the discoms, I do not know if we did not hear by part A, which I said that the government, which you talked about giving to the farmers and giving to the individuals as food subsidy, gas cylinders free, was the first instinct which was done by the government, if you remember correctly. And this was 1,70,000 crores. When you talk about loan melas, please try to understand no company is built on a grant. There is some equity, there is some loan, there is some enterprise, there is some partnership. And when that goes in distress, the companies are not asking, give me 5 lakh crores, give me direct money as a cash credit. No, they are not saying as a grants. Everything wants things to be incentivized so that they can get back to normalcy. Tax rebates, profits would be there, reinvestment would be done. So tax concessions which are given or the loan which is given at a cost or moratorium given by the banks is with the purpose of is a recipe to resume the economy. So when we talk like economists, let's talk about the economy and as an economist.